The room fell silent when the beat dropped and that voice filled the speakers. You could see the shock on Kendrick Lamar's face, as if he had just been told he won the lottery. This was no ordinary voice. It was Jay-Z, effortlessly rapping over Kendrick's song. The footage from 2013 captures one of those rare moments in hip-hop history where you can actually see a dream coming to life in someone's eyes.
Another big decision was Don't Kill My Vibe. So, we got Interscope.
Right.
So Lady Gaga wanted to get on the record. So she got on it. And we listening and comparing the original one to that.
What people don't realize is that having Jay on that track wasn't the initial plan, and the story of how it all came together is far more intricate than most believe. Welcome to celebrity rap life, where the red carpets never roll up and the spotlight never fades. The rewards are legendary, because in celebrity rap life, every downfall can become a comeback, and every headline tells a deeper story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next. See, before Jay-Z ever touched that microphone, before his voice ever graced that remix, there was supposed to be someone else on that track. Not just anybody either. We're talking about Lady Gaga, one of the biggest pop stars on the planet at that time. Yeah, you heard that right. Kendrick Lamar and Lady Gaga were supposed to make magic together on Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Think about that for a second. This was around the time when Kendrick was still proving himself to the mainstream world, still climbing that mountain to legendary status. Good Kid, Mad City had just dropped and was making waves everywhere, but a collaboration with Gaga would have been massive. It would have been that crossover moment, that bridge between the raw streets of Compton and the glamorous pop universe that Gaga dominated. The vision was there, the recording sessions happened, and from what people in the know were saying, the track was actually coming together. But somewhere along the line, something went wrong. Not just a little bit wrong either. We're talking about the kind of wrong that makes a whole collaboration fall apart and never see the light of day. Now, the details get murky here, because nobody really came out and said exactly what happened in plain terms, but people who were close to the situation started dropping hints. Members of Top Dawg Entertainment, Kendrick's label family, they started talking, and what they said painted a picture of frustration and creative differences that couldn't be solved. According to these insiders, Lady Gaga wasn't happy with how things were going down. Maybe it was the creative direction, maybe it was the business side of things, maybe it was something else entirely that we'll never fully understand. But whatever it was enough to make the whole thing crumble. The collaboration that could have been one of the most unexpected and exciting features on an already incredible album just disappeared. Poof, gone, like it never existed in the first place. Except it did exist, and Gaga had the receipts to prove it. This is where the story takes another wild turn. See, most artists, when a collaboration falls through, they just move on. They take the L, they keep it pushing, they maybe mention it in an interview years later when somebody asks about unreleased music. But Gaga, she wasn't built like that. She was frustrated, yeah, but more than that, she wanted people to hear what she created. She wanted the world to know that this wasn't just some rumor or some studio whisper. This collaboration was real, and she put her heart into it. So what did she do? She went ahead and released her version independently on her own terms, without the big machine of a major album rollout or label politics getting in the way. She just put it out there for the fans, raw and unfiltered, giving everybody a chance to hear what might have been. And when people finally got to listen to Lady Gaga's version of Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, it was like opening a door to an alternate universe. You could hear how different the energy was, how her voice brought this whole other dimension to Kendrick's introspective meditation on creative freedom and dealing with people who drain your vibe. She wasn't trying to rap or anything like that. She came at it from her angle, singing with that powerful voice she's known for, adding layers of emotion that complemented what Kendrick was doing in her own unique way. It was experimental, it was unexpected, and honestly, it was pretty dope in its own right. But here's the thing about the music industry that people outside of it don't always understand. Timing is everything, and so is chemistry. And sometimes, even when you got talented people in the room, the stars just don't align the way you need them to. The Gaga version had potential, no doubt, but something about it didn't feel quite right for what Kendrick's team was trying to accomplish with that album. They needed something that would fit seamlessly into the narrative of Good Kid, Mad City, something that would enhance the story Kendrick was telling about growing up in Compton and navigating all the pressures and temptations and struggles that came with that life. A pop collaboration with Lady Gaga, as interesting as it might have been, maybe didn't serve that vision the way they originally thought it would. So when that fell apart, they were left with a problem. They had this incredible song, this track that was already resonating with people who heard the album version, but they knew a remix could take it even higher. They needed somebody who could match Kendrick's energy, somebody who understood the weight of what he was talking about, somebody who had their own story of fighting to maintain their creative freedom in an industry that constantly tries to box you in and control your every move. Enter Sean Carter, better known to the world as Jay-Z. Now, we don't know exactly how the Top Dawg Entertainment made that connection happen, but somehow they did. Somehow they got in touch with one of the most powerful and influential figures in hip-hop history and convinced him to jump on this remix. And Jay, being Jay, he didn't just phone it in. He came with that razor-sharp flow, those quotable lines, that presence that only somebody who's been at the top of the game for decades can bring. He understood the assignment completely. He got what Kendrick was saying about people killing your vibe, about needing space to create without all the noise and the politics and the bullshit that comes with fame. Jay had lived that life, had dealt with those same pressures at an even bigger scale, and he channeled all of that experience into his verse. The chemistry was perfect. Two generations of hip-hop excellence meeting on one track, both of them talking about the same struggles from different perspectives. It was exactly what the song needed. But Top Dawg Entertainment, they're clever people. They could have just told Kendrick straight up that they got Jay-Z on the remix. They could have made it a whole event, built up the anticipation, done the typical industry rollout. Instead, they decided to keep it a secret. They wanted to capture Kendrick's genuine reaction, that unfiltered moment of shock and joy when he realized what his team had pulled off. So they set it up like a regular studio session, probably told him they wanted to play him some new mix or work on something else entirely. They got the cameras rolling, making it seem casual, just another day at work. And then they hit play. That's when everything changed. You can see it in the footage, the way Kendrick's expression shifts from casual and relaxed to completely stunned in the span of about 3 seconds. His eyes go wide, his mouth drops open, and you can literally watch him process what he's hearing. That's Jay-Z. That's really Jay-Z on my song, on my remix. The dude who made the blueprint, who built an empire, who's a living legend in this game, just blessed my track with a verse. The people around him in the room, they're loving every second of his reaction. They're smiling and laughing because they know they just gave him one of the best surprises of his career. This is what hip-hop is really about. Those moments of pure, authentic joy and mutual respect between artists. It's not just about the business and the numbers and the charts, though all that matters too. It's about the craft, about recognizing greatness in each other and wanting to create something special together. And in that moment, watching Kendrick experience the reality of Jay-Z being on his remix, you're witnessing something beautiful and rare in an industry that can often feel cold and calculated. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Lady Gaga's version of the track was floating around on the internet, a reminder of what almost was. Some fans loved it and wished it had been the official remix. Others felt like Jay-Z's version was meant to be, like the Gaga collaboration falling through was actually a blessing in disguise that led to something even better. Music fans love to debate these what-if scenarios, and this one gave them plenty to talk about. The whole situation really highlights how unpredictable the creative process can be, how plans can change in an instant, and how sometimes the best outcomes come from things not working out the way you originally intended. If Lady Gaga and Kendrick had figured out their differences and released that collaboration officially, we might never have gotten the Jay-Z remix. That 2013 footage of Kendrick's reaction might not exist. The story would have gone in a completely different direction. But because things fell apart, because Gaga got frustrated and the collaboration got scrapped, because Top Dawg Entertainment went back to the drawing board and somehow secured a Jay-Z feature instead, we ended up with one of the most memorable remixes of that era and a priceless piece of footage showing a young Kendrick Lamar realizing he just got the cosign of a lifetime. That's the magic and the madness of the music business, all wrapped up in one story. Nothing ever goes exactly according to plan, but sometimes the detours lead you somewhere even better than where you were originally trying to go. And for Kendrick, that detour led straight to hip-hop history. This story is far from over, and the truth is still unfolding. I want to hear what you think. Drop your take in the comments, and if you don't want to miss the next twist, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next.